Hi guys, this is Kaliey. I'm bringing you a foam roller stability and strength workout today. And this one will be a little bit of an intro to some of the things that your humble foam roller can do. A lot of you have one or you've seen one, but it's actually a very versatile tool. So you might know it as being great for doing fascial release work and kind of stretching stuff, but today I'll show you some other things that you can do with it in strengthening through the core and around the hips. So let's get started. We're going to set up your roller now, down the length of your mat and lie down. We want the length of your spine along that roller. So we're lying on down. We're going to shuffle down, make sure your head is supported. And just feel that you're centered down the roller. And I love the foam roller as a tool because it's a really hard surface. So you can feel exactly where your spine is. Whereas if you're lying on a mat or even on the floor, there's sort of more of your flesh making contact and it's hard to know the shape of your spine. From here, we'll raise our arms up to the ceiling just to start with a little bit of a stability challenge. And I want you to take a few deep breaths. Allow your head to relax here, slightly nod the chin. Your mouth is open. We'll use our Pilates breathing. So it's an inhale through the nose and an exhale through the mouth. And as you slow down your breath, and our breathing is going to have a lot to do with the connection that we create through our core, I want you to take notice of how the breath is coming into your body. Do your best to send your breath into the depths of your lungs. So try to expand into the back and sides of your ribs, not just up into your belly and chest. When we're talking about core activation, it's hard to get a full tightening effect around the waist if you've got a belly full of air, as you can imagine. So expanding and even creating space, if we're not used to deep breathing, we can get quite tight. Those little intercostal muscles between the ribs tighten up. And just allowing your body to melt down into that roller. We'll start with a gentle pelvic tilt. You're going to use your exhale as you're tightening around the waist. Tilt your pelvis to flatten your lower back into the roller. And then inhale, release just to neutral, just that natural curve. Exhale, flattening that down, bringing the front of your hips towards the front of your ribs. And inhale to release. Taking notice again of the muscles that you're using. And as we're trying to fire up these lower abs, I want you to try your best to keep your glutes completely relaxed. And your legs will be working just a little bit to balance you so you don't fall off the roller, but no more than that. And you're definitely not clenching to get that lower back flat. We'll go for 2 more. And exhale, press that lower back down. As an intro, we're going to keep the lower back down where our lower abs are in a shortened position. So your abs are already fired up and it's going to help them to engage effectively for everything else that we do. So as an intro, we'll just keep that back flat. I also want you to think of your rib cage placement. So there's that softness through the front of the ribs and we'll just gently move through the arms. Again, exhale, feel that tightening effect around the waist, raising your arms just halfway back. Inhale, floating your arms back up to the ceiling, directly above your shoulders. Exhale, reach those arms back, maybe going further than before. And inhale to return. So we want to feel that we're keeping that flat back, and I'm talking lower and mid back. Feel like those lowest ribs, those little floaty ones, are staying melting down. You're not letting your ribs pop up and your back arch. 2 more times. As we're mobilizing the shoulders, you may be able to take those arms even further back again. And we want to avoid any pinching in the shoulders. So taking the arms out wider if you need to into more of a Y shape rather than parallel. And we'll float the arms back up to the ceiling. Soften your arm bones down into your shoulder sockets and enjoy that feeling of your shoulder blades wrapping around the back of your rib cage, kind of coming towards the roller either side of the spine there. We'll come into a little heel float. So we're challenging our stability. Use your exhale again, tighten around the waist, just lift one heel only. Inhale, place the heel down. Other side, exhale, float the heel. Inhale to lower. So hang in there. It's not the hardest thing you've ever done. Some of you might think it actually is. It might surprise you. All this stuff definitely looks harder than it is. And hopefully you're not cramping up in your calves and hamstrings. But we're just trying not to fall off, okay? So before we add a lot of load, we're just getting that technique. Exhale, tightening around the midsection, then we reduce the stability. Inhale to make it easier. Exhale, tighten around the waist and float one heel. Okay, let's add on. We're gonna exhale, float the heel and then lift the knee. Are you ready? Inhale to prepare. Exhale, tighten around the waist, lifting that heel, peel the toes away, bring that leg up to tabletop. Inhale, place that foot down, toes first, ball of the foot, then the heel. Other side, exhale, tighten, lift the heel, the ball of the foot, then the toes, pull that knee back over the hip, and inhale to come back down. Exhale. If you need to, take your feet a little wider on the floor. You're going to have a greater base of support with your feet wider. And if you want to make it harder, you bring your feet in narrower, so hip distance or even closer. Exhale, tighten and lift. And as you work through this in time with your breath, make sure you're not tensing up into your neck and shoulders. So soften there. And again, mouth is open for the most effective exhalation. One more each side. And both feet come back down just for a moment. Hands come behind your head. Allow your head to sit heavily. You're cradling the base of your skull here in your hands and slightly nod your chin to your chest. So it's like you're lengthening the base of your skull away from the top of your neck. Elbows slightly forward, mouth open. Inhale. And as you exhale, squeeze your ribs to your hips, lifting your head and shoulders. Inhale, we're going to rest the shoulders and head back down. And exhale, curl up, move from your rib cage. Squeeze your ribs to your hips. Your head and shoulders are just magically lifting away at this point. Inhale to come back, using that exhalation. It should be an audible breath. It might sound a little bit obnoxious. You might feel a little bit silly, but give it a go. And we'll go for one more, holding at the top. Exhale to get there. Inhale, stay. Reach your arms forward and maybe you can even curl up a little bit higher. As we hold this position, I want you to look at your belly and I want you to close in that distance between the front of your ribs and your hips, pushing that lower back down. And again, feel your abs are on, but you're not clenching your bottom. Head is sitting back on top of the shoulders. Inhale and exhale, tighten the waist, maintain the height of the crunch, raise those arms back. Inhale, arms reach forward. Exhale, arms reach back. And do not let that head drop down at all. So don't let your body come down. Only take the arms back as far as you can maintain that height. Inhale forward, push that lower back down. Last two. Last one. And bend your elbows. Take your hands behind your head. Hold. Can you crunch a little higher? Squeezing ribs to hips, and as you're looking at your belly, pushing that back down, trying not to clench your bottom. Use your exhale to compress around the waist. Feel like you're tightening those muscles. Make sure your tummy isn't doming up and popping up. Pull it in and down. Deep core, engaged. Head is heavy in your hands. One more breath. And resting all the way down. You're gonna reach your arms up to the ceiling, soften those shoulders. We're gonna keep your head down, relax your neck here completely. As you exhale, tighten your waist and float one leg back to tabletop. We're gonna come on up, hold, endurance. Now what we're talking about here to maintain this position are those muscles that wrap around your waist, so transverse abdominis, your deep core, as well as both sets of obliques, as well as the hip stabilizers here on the standing leg. So all of these muscles are really good for running or any bilateral movement, including walking, including getting around any sport, and lots of different exercises at the gym. So well worth investing a bit of time in mastering some of these techniques. We're holding. You might feel you get more and more shaky the longer you stay here. That's pretty normal, stay with it. And if you keep sort of dropping down, that's okay, come back. We've got 5 seconds, soften the shoulders. One more breath. and place that foot down. Let's do the other side. So again, engage through the core, soften neck and shoulders, and exhale, tighten and lift. Holding here, knee above hip. Lower back is still flat, again at an intro level. It is easier to engage the core with an imprinted spine because your lower abs are already in a shortened position. And as we progress through, and keep an eye out for more workouts on the foam roller, we'll certainly work in different positions and progress from here. Keep coming back to this video though until you do master all these moves before you attempt to move on. You want to get the basics and know that these deep core muscles and hip stabilizers are in fact engaging. Otherwise, bigger muscles will kick in. And lower that foot down. So we're just going to add on, we'll do one last variation here. Floating that first leg back to tabletop for some leg extensions. So lower back and lowest ribs stay down. You're going to extend that leg away, exhale as you do. Inhale, bend that knee back in, and exhale, extend. Inhale, bend, only take that leg as far as that lower back is down. So it might be to the floor for some of you, or it might be sort of reaching to the ceiling, closer to the ceiling than the floor there. Let's add in our overhead arms to add on. Exhale, as the leg reaches away, those arms travel back. Inhale on the return. Exhale, reaching away. We'll keep it slow today. Inhale to return, ribs and lower back heavy. One more. And place that foot down onto the other side. Shifting over. Float that leg. Just the leg extensions here first. So ribs heavy, soften the shoulders, no tension there. Exhale, reach the leg. I want the tension in your core. Inhale to return. And again, we are talking about deep underlying muscles, so it's not going to feel like a really strong squat or a heavy bicep curl where it's that strong direct shortening and contraction of the muscle. It's just like really hard work and you're not sure how so. We are going to raise those arms back. We've got 5 here. Exhale as the leg reaches away, take the arms back. Inhale to return. And again, exhale, try not to fall off. You might find it's really different on one side to the other. So the foam roller is a great tool just to become aware of any small imbalances that you might have in the body and work to improve them over time. Beautiful, and place that foot down. I'm gonna have you carefully roll yourself off your roller as gracefully as you possibly can. And come on up. If you did feel that one side was way stronger or way weaker than the other, you may like to do a second set on that weaker side, so the standing leg down, and feel free to work on those little weaknesses through your body in time. And as I said, keep an eye out for part 2, and I'll see you then. Bye guys.